Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, an online reseller. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I measure shoes, boots, sandals, any type of shoe, heels, wedges, whatever. It's all pretty much the same type of measurement. If you watched my other video, I mentioned that I have templates made of all types of listings that I do, whether it's jeans, shirts, ties, shoes, swimsuits, bras, you name it. I have a template made with all the measurements, so it's super easy to just copy, paste it into my listing, and then I can just plug in the numbers of the measurement. Now, if you don't want to do that, or you don't want to sit there and type it, a lot of people will take a picture with the measuring tape and they will put that as their measurements, but put it in the pictures instead of sitting there typing it. So you can do that. That's an option. You can write it on a piece of paper, take a picture of that, just so you have the measurements. I've seen people use dry erase boards. They just write the measurements down, they can erase it, put the next one for the next item, and put that in the pictures. Whatever works for you, but I recommend that you put measurements in all your listings, because you might get a customer that needs the measurements of something, and instead of taking time to ask you, wait for your response, and then see that maybe it's not going to fit them. They can go to someone else and that has the measurements already in their listing, and they can see and move on if they need to, if it's not going to work for them. So I highly recommend putting measurements in all your listings. Most people I see don't put them on shoes and boots. I do. It's just something I put measurements on pretty much everything I sell. So that said, I use just a sewer's tape measure. You can use a regular tape measure, you can use a ruler, a yardstick, whatever you have to measure. This is just easy because it's super flexible and it goes up to 60 inches. So, excuse me. I'm going to show you how I measure shoes, just basic kind of shoe. And then I'll show you the sandal and a boot. Pretty much all the same measurements I use. I use the end to end, or top to bottom, whatever you want to say, the side to side, and then I do the heel. Now, I measure the outside because it's easier for me. And some of the shoes, I can't get my hand clear up in there to get to the toe, to measure the inside. If you can, great. I just prefer to measure the outside, and then somebody can measure the outside of their shoe and compare it to your measurements to see if it will fit, if they don't want to go just by the size. Pretty much shoes are basically, you can pretty much go by your size. I've pretty much found that, you know, any type of shoe I buy, it's the same size of what I wear. So, but you never know. So I always put measurements. So on a regular shoe like this, I just go from like the top edge right here, which would be right here. So this is the top of the shoe. Don't go over the edge or below it. And then you're not gonna wanna wrap it around like that. You're just gonna wanna come down to the very bottom where their foot's gonna end. And this one would be roughly 10.5. Yeah, because right there would be end. Because if you wrap it around, you're gonna have 10.25. So you're gonna wanna go right here to the edge. So it's gonna be about 10.5. And this is the top. So that would be the end-to-end measurement, or top to bottom of the outsole of the shoe. Make sure you specify outsole, or if you're going to measure inside, the insole. but I do the outsole. Sorry, this shoe isn't very clean on the bottom, but I didn't have any brand new ones to do. So on the other measurement, you're going to do the side to side. So you're going to want to do on the edge to the edge, and that would be 4 inches. Excuse me. And then the heel. This really doesn't have much of a heel. It's kind of built up, but some shoes have the wedges. I have a wedge I'm going to show you. Some have high heels. You're still going to want to measure the same way. You're going to want to measure from where the shoe meets the bottom of the heel, well, the top of the heel. And you're going to want to go from the top of the heel to the bottom of the heel. And this is roughly, I don't know exactly what that measurement is. 1 3/4 inches. Sorry. I don't know if you can see. See, you don't want to go around to 2 because then you're going to round it off. Make it more than it is. So you're going to want to go right there. So that's going to be your heel measurement on the shoe. So then flip-flops, sandals, whatever. This one is brand new, just a little dusty. But same thing. On these, if you wanted to, it would be easy to just put it in here and measure the insole. So that would be roughly 1.25 inches. But again, and then you could do the measurement on the side to side. But again, I do it from the outsole. So on this one, it's not flat like the other one was pretty much flat. It does have the gap there because of the wedge. So instead of going, I don't go like this and push it down like that. You can, but I just leave it flat against it. So that would be basically 8.5. You could see what that extra mark is. I don't know offhand. I'd have to look at my measuring thing, but it tells me the exact measurements of every little dot or line. But let me see if I laid it down. I'll see if I lay it flat against and use all that extra space up, it's going to make it look like it's almost 9. So it's basically, I guess it's basically the same measurement. So I guess you could do it either way. And then on this one, you're going to want to do the heel again. This would be a wedge heel. So you're going to go from the top to the bottom. So it'd be 3-inch wedge heel. And you're going to want to put in your measurement that this is a wedge and that you measured the wedge part. If somebody wants the center part, you know, that's a different measurement you could give them. And up here in the front, because it's higher up, you could give that measurement too if you wanted to. I just do the heel unless somebody asks me. And then on boots, oh, sorry, let me go back. Sorry. Okay, now pretend this is a high heel. So it's going to be little, you know, little pole, I'll say pole, sticking out. So it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to put it here, pretend this is the little heel coming out, and you're just going to want to measure the top to the bottom of the little skinny heel. If it's a high heel, same thing, same measurement. And then on boots, I just grabbed a short one, some of them really tall, but you're just going to want to do basically the same thing. the top to the bottom, side to side, the heel, and then on the boots, you're going to want to do the shaft. Now the shaft is the top of the boot down to where the heel meets the shaft of the boot. Now these, of course, I didn't grab good ones. I grabbed the Skechers shape ups, so it kind of goes like this, but you're going to want to go from, I always measure from the back straight down to where it meets, so that way you get an accurate measurement of the shaft. So again, on these, try not to drop it, you're going to want to go from the top of the boot, but not clear up here, because you're going to take all that extra, but you don't want to measure. So you're going to want to go right there, and you're going to come down. And this one's kind of angled because it's a shape up, but you get the point. So on this one, it would be roughly 11. See, I'm rounding it, so I don't want to round it. So therefore, that was wrong. And that might be right though, because right there's the back of the boot. And just make sure you go to the back of the boot. So that would be roughly 11. And you can also put it on the side if you want to just double check and go from the top to the bottom, and it's still roughly 11 inches. So either way, you can measure. And then again, side to side, you're just going to want to go on the side to side. I forgot to say, like, see how it's like narrow, then it widens out, and it comes back in. That's going to be on pretty much all shoes. I measure the widest spot, and I make sure I put that in my listing, widest spot on the side to side, so that way that they know where you have measured on the shoe or boot. So you're going to just want to go from one side to the other side. And it's 3 3/4. So that would be the side to side widest spot. And then on these, now normally I said you would go back here for the heel. So you could give that measurement, but make sure you specify where you actually measured at if it's something that's like this, where this one would be an inch. But actually, I would measure this part because it's a little bit bigger, because these are shape ups, so they're shaped weird. But I would just go here, and it's 1.5 inches, 1 3/4. So you just go from the top of the heel to the bottom. And then on the shaft, you're going to want to go from the top, not the seam. There's the seam, but I go from the very top of the boot down to the heel. So it's basically 9 inches. Or you can measure from the back. Now see, if you do it from the back, it's going to be about 8.5. So either way, whatever you want to do, just make sure that you specify where you measured it, because you're going to have different measurements on some of them. Some boots are just going to be straight across. So it's easier to measure these. Of course, I grabbed the wrong ones. I should have grabbed something a little bit easier to show you, but you get the reference of what I'm trying to show you on the boots. Just make sure you put all those listings in, especially on boots. Shoes, if you don't want to put measurements, it's fine. But on the boots, I would recommend putting the measurements, especially the shaft, because again, there's ankle boots, those are winter boots, there's knee-high boots, there's thigh-high boots, and people's gonna want to know how high the shaft is going to come up on their ankle or their leg. So I would recommend putting those in. So hopefully that helped you on shoes and boots, how to measure those. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. All the links to my stores and everything is down below. Don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And on the last video, I was trying to say the YouTube algorithm. I can never say that word very well, but that's liking and subscribing. That helps it, and helps me, helps the YouTube, helps my channel. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. I'm going to make another video for accessories, so make sure you stop back in a week or so and check that one out. And if you want to be notified when I post new videos, hit the little bell. Click on that and it will notify you every time that I post a new video. So again, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.